Good morning, children. See, so now we are in first chapter. What is the chapter name? Crop production and management, is it? So we have discussed the different steps what the farmers are doing in the while doing farming, is it? So the last step is whatever is they have grown, they want to collect it and want to store. These steps we are going to discuss today. And in that, the first one is what? Harvesting. What is harvesting? What is harvesting? I will show you one picture. Here, this one is sickle. What is the name of this one? Sickle. So, for what the sickle is used? The sickle is used for collecting the matured crops. So, collecting the matured crops is called what? Harvesting. Okay, have you ever seen how the farmers are collecting the matured crops? Yes. Are they always taking the sickle and collecting nowadays? No. Now what they are doing? They are using machines, tractors, and tractors they are using, and they are collecting all the crops. See, after collecting all the crops, they want to separate everything, is it? So the stalks and the hard part we are not using. We want only the grain. So the separation is needed. So after harvesting the matured crops, they are separating the stalk from the grains from the stalk and from the grains to the chaff. So these methods are, the separation method is called threshing and winnowing. I will show you how threshing and winnowing. See here, you can see while doing threshing. See, this is a plant. This is a wheat plant. You just imagine it's a wheat plant, and you can see the green color stalk, and on the stalk there are grains. So this grain should be removed or separated from the stalk. For that, the farmers, they will put all the grain down on the ground and just walk on this wheat. Okay, so either they will walk or they will allow some animals to walk on that. Otherwise, they will take big sticks and they will just beat on the grass. Okay, so walking and trampling with the animals, and by beating they just separate the stalk and grain. So the process of separating grains from the stalk is called threshing. What is that? Threshing. So threshing is nothing but separating grain from the stalk. And next, after that, see outer part. Just if you see, if any grain is there, or you are having groundnuts. The groundnut, while before eating, you just remove the outer cover. Is it just remove the outer cover, and the white part you are eating. So that white part is what? Grain, and that outer cover, that is called a chaff. So the chaff must be separated from the grain, then only we can use the grain. So for that, they will just, after this threshing, already all the chaff will be separated from the grain, but then also it will be mixed together. So you see, you just imagine about the groundnuts. You will take that roasted groundnuts and nicely you smash nicely. That is called what? Threshing. And then you can see the chaffs and grains together. Then next what you will do? You want only the white part. That other part you don't need. So what they will do? You just keep like this and you just blow. You see, while blowing what will happen? All the chaff will fly away and the grain or the nuts will be there. Then it is easy and you can eat the groundnuts. The same way what the farmers are, farmers can take in hand and can do like this. No, why? It is not some, it is more. A lot of grains are there. So it is not possible to do some to take and remove the chaff. It is not possible. So what they will do? They will just stamp on that. They will stamp on that and separate everything. Afterwards, what they do? They just take in big vessels and just they put into down. Then while putting down, the heavy part grain just fall down and the chaff, and they blow air also. The wind what happen? The chaff will fly away and just down they will get what? Grain. So like that they separating the grain and the chaff. That is called what? winnowing. So winnowing is done with the help of wind. With the help of wind. Wind is separating chaff from the grains. But threshing is doing with the pressure. They want to stamp on them, they want to beat something. Then it will be separated from the stalk and from the chaff. And the chaff then again gets separated with the help of blow of wind. And see, while winnowing, see it is the grain and the outer part is called what? Chaff. Chaff we will not eat, only the grain we will eat. So after separating this grain and chaff, this chaff must be separated from all the grains. So what they will do? From a higher place just they throw to down. So while throwing down, the chaff will fly away because it is lightweight, and the heavy grains will be get separated, and you will get in bulk amount the grain together because it is having heavy, it is so heavy. That's why the grains will be there and the light chaff will fly away. So that method is called what? Winnowing. So after harvesting the crops, they do two processes. What they do? Threshing and winnowing. Threshing and winnowing. Now they got what? The grains. Is it? And it is not a small amount. Lot of grains are there. So it must be stored in one place. They can't say that today itself everything. Is it? So they want to pack it nicely and they want to send to the different shops, and then only they get the money. So before that they want to store in some places. Okay, and two ways they can store. So they will do the storage by two ways: cold storage and dry storage. Cold storage and dry storage. You see, you are doing a farming of rice. Do you need cold storage or dry storage? You will keep your rice in your house in the fridge or outside the fridge. Yes, it is outside. We are not keeping the rice inside the fridge. After boiling maybe you keep. Otherwise we won't keep the rice inside the fridge because it no need what? It no need that cold storage because it will not get spoiled within 1 or 2 days. It may be spoiled by eating. It is eaten by what? Some pest or some any small insects can attack. That's all. Otherwise it will not get spoiled. So we have to add some pesticides, or the best one is that this neem leaves. So neem leaves have a very good capacity. It can remove all the insects. If neem leaves are there, the insects, because of the smell, the insects will not come. So you can put the neem leaves inside the rice and the dry storage area, then it will not be attacked by pests. Or some farmers what they do, they will use chemicals. Okay, that's not good, but it is very urgent now, we have to use no other way. So that's why telling, after getting everything from the shop, we have to wash thoroughly. We have to wash it very nicely before we use it, because a lot of pesticides and lot of fertilizers, everything will be there on the around it. So cold storage and dry storage. And can you tell me that which item they will keep in cold storage? What type of crop they want to use this cold storage? Which fruit? Which crops will decay or spoil very soon? Fruits and vegetables. Very good. So these fruits and vegetables are stored in the cold storage, and all other grains and seeds, everything is stored in the dry storage. I will show two places where they are doing the dry storage. See, these are the some ways silos. What is this? Silos. Silos are nothing but very big bin. You may think it is very small, but it is not very small. It is 50 feet height or 10 feet. It depends on the what is that stored. According to that, the size will be changed. It is not small. It is as our school like that height it will be there. Okay, silos. And next is godown. Godown is nothing but like our home, very big houses like that, and there will be ventilators, and the farmers collect all the grains in a sack. See, gunny bag. In a sack they will store the rice or wheat, everything, and then the bags will keep inside the godowns. And inside the godown they will use neem leaves or some other pesticides to protect it from this what is that, insects, okay, or pest. So So like that they can do protection. So these are the dry storage places, and the cold storage is what? Refrigerator. They use refrigerator for the cold storage. And next one, see, nowadays it is see, day by day our population is increasing. There is not now lakhs and 10 lakhs like that crores. Now that population is so high, so to provide food it is very difficult, because most of us like the jobs of what? White collar job, like that we want to sit in office and want to do the work. Nobody like to go to do farming or to get food for us, is it? So the farmers number is very less, but the people, more people need the food. So what? So it leads to what? It leads to grow more crops. Then only we can satisfy all the people. So what the farmers are doing? They are adapting new methods. That's why they are doing again and again farming in the same land. Is it good to grow crops again and again in the same land? No. What happened? It will destroy the soil. It will destroy the soil. It will remove all the nutrients from the soil. But we are forced to do. And some what will do? Is there any forest area is there? Just go inside the forest and just remove that trees and plants and everything, and they do farming there. Is it good? No, that also should not do, but no other way. People are forced to do because of need of more and more crops. So, but see, and so to increase the crop production, these are the way the farmers are doing. But another one more thing is there. See, some fruits or some vegetables or some grains, those are very some fruits they will have very less immunity. That means they can't resist the diseases. Such plants will be there. But some other plants, they have good resistance to disease, but they will give very less products. The fruits will be very less, but it will be protect from the disease very nicely, resistant to disease. But some other plants not resistant to disease, but give nice, very good yield, big and very lot of fruits or vegetables will give, but the resistance to disease will be less. Like that, two types of plants will be there. So what the farmers will do? They will just combine both the crops. Just take and combine water. In that laboratory, they will just combine these two types of crops, and a new variety they will form. And that process is called what? Hybridization. What is that? Hybridization. So hybridization is nothing but crossbreeding. Crossbreeding. Good. Too good. To get a good yield, they are crossing two different characteristics crops, and they will get a what we are expecting, that character will get. Like that, see. Here in this hybridization, this means, see, this plant is having more resistance. It has more resistance to disease, but it will give very small fruits. This is a type of plant. Let's just think about brinjal. And another brinjal plant, this plant is having what? A plant with less resistance. It is having very less resistance to disease, but it will give more number of fruits, and the fruits are very big. So what that scientists are doing, they just combine these two, the seeds. They will form the seeds by combining these two plants, and they will make a new variety, a hybrid plant with good resistance and more yield, or good resistance with the more number of fruits. Then within the less time we got a lot of yield, and the plant will not get disease soon, and it will give a good product. So we are making a good character or good quality plant by combining or by crossing. That method is called what? Hybridization. So that's all today's. You just read the textbook before answering the worksheet, and little more portion is there. Then our first chapter is get finished. It is very simple chapter. Read nicely and do the worksheet. Thank you.